Welcome back to the deep dive. You guys know I love getting your requests, and
Yeah.
I try to pick the most interesting ones. But this one was really fascinating, and it's all about AI in medicine. I mean, let's be real, AI is like everywhere these days. And you guys wanted to know more about how it's impacting medicine.
AI in medicine is a huge topic.
Huge. So you send in this research paper. It's a review article, actually, from October 2024. Super recent.
And review articles are a great way to get up to speed on a topic because they summarize a ton of research.
So basically like the best of the best.
Exactly.
Okay, so one of the things that really blew my mind in this article
Mhm.
was how AI is like totally changing how we discover new drugs. Like, did you know that it used to take an average of 15 years to get a new drug from the lab to the pharmacy?
15 years.
I know, crazy, right?
That's a long time, especially when you think about how many people are waiting for new treatments.
It's a really long time.
But AI is like speeding everything up.
And the article even has this cool graphic, I think it was figure 2, that shows the whole drug development process and how AI is impacting every stage.
It's amazing to see it lead out like that.
It is. So walk me through it. Like, how is AI actually being used at each step?
Okay, so first of all, it's important to remember that AI isn't replacing scientists. It's more like giving them these incredible tools to work with.
Got it.
So one example is virtual screening.
Virtual screening.
Yeah, imagine you have this massive library of like billions of potential drug molecules, trying to find the right one. Well, it's like trying to find a needle in a haystack.
Pretty much impossible.
Right. But AI can analyze the chemical properties of all those molecules and predict which ones are most likely to work against a specific disease.
So instead of testing every single molecule in a lab, which would take forever,
Exactly.
scientists can use AI to kind of narrow it down to the best candidates.
Yeah, like having a super-powered filter.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yep.
But then it gets even crazier because the article says that AI can actually design new drug molecules.
Yeah.
Like from scratch.
It can.
No way.
Yeah, so we're not just talking about tweaking existing molecules. AI can create entirely new chemical structures.
So like it's an AI chemist.
Kind of. It's more complex than that, of course. But AI can analyze tons of data about chemical structures and then use that to generate new molecules with specific properties.
So instead of years of trial and error in the lab, we can use AI to design molecules that are more likely to be effective right from the start.
Exactly. It's a game changer.
Totally a game changer. And the article mentions this company, In Silico Medicine, that used this approach to develop a new drug for pulmonary fibrosis in just 18 months.
18 months.
I know, didn't we say it normally takes like 15 years?
It's incredibly fast. And what's even more impressive is that they used AI to pick the right molecule out of literally billions of options.
That's amazing. So it's like AI is this superpowered research assistant that's also designing drugs faster and potentially better than we ever could.
It's definitely changing the landscape of drug discovery.
Okay, so we've talked about how AI is finding new drugs. But what about how those drugs are delivered? Like, is AI changing that too?
Oh, absolutely. One of the biggest areas where AI is making a difference is in personalized medicine, the idea of tailoring treatments to each individual patient.
Okay, personalized medicine. I'd heard that term, but what does it actually mean?
So it means moving away from that one-size-fits-all approach to healthcare and recognizing that each person is unique. Their genetics, their lifestyle, their environment, all of these factors can influence how they respond to treatment.
So instead of giving everyone the same drug and hoping for the best,
Right.
we can use AI to figure out what will work best for each individual person.
Exactly.
That's incredible.
It is.
Okay, so AI is helping us find the right drugs, but is AI helping us make sure they actually work as well as they possibly can? It's like, we've got the ingredients, but now we need to make sure we have the right recipe.
That's a great analogy. And that's where AI comes in for optimizing drug formulations. Because it's not just about the drug itself, it's also about everything else that goes into a medication.
Everything else. What do you mean?
Well, think about a pill. It's not just pure medicine. It also contains things called excipients.
Excipients.
Yeah, they're inactive ingredients, but they play a really important role in how a drug works. They can help with absorption stability, how the drug breaks down in your body, even how it tastes or smells.
Oh, wow. So it's like the supporting cast.
Exactly. And AI is helping us figure out the best combination of excipients for each drug, and even for each individual patient.
So AI is like the master chef figuring out the perfect recipe.
You could say that.
Yeah.
AI can analyze tons of data about drug properties, excipient characteristics, and how they all interact. Then it can predict the ideal formulation.
So AI can help create a pill that's not only effective, but also easier to take, maybe even taste better.
Exactly. And we're even starting to see AI-powered 3D printing of medications.
3D printed pills. That sounds like science fiction.
It does, doesn't it? But it's becoming a reality. In fact, the article mentions a case where AI was used to design a personalized polypill for metabolic syndrome.
So instead of taking a handful of different pills, you could take one pill that's been designed specifically for you.
Exactly. And that could be a game changer for people who are managing multiple health conditions.
That's amazing. So what are some companies that are actually using AI in these ways?
There are a lot of companies pushing the boundaries. One that stands out is Johnson & Johnson. They're using something called digital twin technology.
Digital twin. What's that?
So it's a virtual model of a person, like a virtual you, based on their individual biology, health history, lifestyle.
So they're creating a virtual version of you to run experiments on.
It's pretty amazing, and it allows researchers to personalize treatments in a way that was never possible before.
So they can test out different drug combinations, different dosages, even different delivery methods on your digital twin.
Exactly like having a personalized clinical trial.
Wow. That's incredible. What about other companies?
AstraZeneca is using AI to analyze millions of genomes. They're trying to identify the genes that contribute to diseases.
So they're using AI to crack the code of our DNA.
Exactly, and that knowledge could lead to new therapies.
What about using AI to actually manufacture drugs?
Pfizer, the company that developed the COVID-19 vaccine, they're using AI to optimize their production processes.
So AI is playing a role in almost every step of the drug development process.
It really is, and one of the most exciting things about all of this is that AI has the potential to make medications cheaper and more effective for everyone.
That's amazing.
It is, and AI could be a key driver in achieving that goal.
This is all so incredible, but I'm sure there are also challenges and potential downsides to consider.
Of course, like any powerful technology, AI needs to be used responsibly and ethically.
Like, what are some of the concerns?
One concern is making sure that AI systems are fair and unbiased.
What do you mean by that?
Well, AI algorithms are trained on data, and if that data is biased in some way, it could lead to AI systems that perpetuate existing inequalities.
So, for example, if an AI system is trained on data that comes from one specific ethnic group, it might not be as effective for people from other ethnic groups.
That's a great example.
So it's not just about the technology, but also about how we use it.
Exactly. We need to make sure that AI in medicine is used to benefit everyone.
This has been a whirlwind of information, but it's so exciting to see how AI is transforming medicine.
It's a really exciting time, and we're just at the beginning of what's possible.
I mean, it really feels like we're on the edge of like a whole new era in medicine.
What's so amazing is that AI is helping us shift from like reacting to diseases to actually predicting and preventing them.
So like we're playing offense instead of defense with our health.
Exactly. And that has huge implications for patients and the whole healthcare system.
Yeah. If we can stop diseases before they even start, that would save so much money and resources.
It would. Chronic diseases are a huge part of healthcare costs. So if we can prevent them, well, that would free up a ton of resources.
Which goes back to that point about AI making healthcare more affordable.
It's a goal we should all be working towards. And AI is a powerful tool to get us there.
You know, another thing the article talked about was the shortage of doctors and nurses.
Oh, yeah. That's a big problem, and it's going to get worse as the population ages.
But the article said AI could help.
It could. AI can handle a lot of the routine tasks that take up so much of their time,
Like what kind of tasks?
like scheduling appointments, managing medical records, answering basic patient questions.
So AI could be like a virtual assistant for healthcare workers.
Exactly. Freeing them up to focus on the things that really need a human touch.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
This whole deep dive has been eye-opening. It's exciting to see the future of medicine, but also kind of overwhelming.
It is a lot to process.
It is.
But I think the big takeaway is that AI has the power to change healthcare in a really big way, and we need to use it responsibly to make sure everyone benefits.
Well said. So
Yeah.
is there anything else from the article that stood out to you?
One thing that I thought was really interesting was the idea that AI could be used to predict adverse drug reactions, like more accurately than we can now.
So you're saying AI could tell us if a drug's going to cause problems before we even take it.
That's the idea. Imagine your smartwatch using AI to analyze your health data and warn you if a certain drug might be risky for you.
That would be incredible. It could prevent so many complications.
It's a cool idea, but it also raises questions like, would you trust an AI with that much information about your health?
That's a good question. And what about the possibility of false positives?
Right. We need to be careful about over-relying on AI predictions.
It seems like with AI, there are always these amazing possibilities, but also potential risks.
It's about finding the right balance and having these conversations as we move forward.
Okay, well, this deep dive into AI in medicine has been fascinating. We've covered a lot, but I hope you've come away with a better understanding of how AI is shaping healthcare and some things to think about as we enter this new world. If you want to learn more, check out the show notes for links to all the articles and resources. Thanks for joining us on the deep dive. And until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep learning.